Is anyone out there? Whoever is here, write something in the chat so I can say hi. Why is this not? Hello. Oh, thank you, Nicholas. That's so nice of you. And we got Ron Swanson up in here too. Hi, Sadie. All right. Where are my peeps? Hello. All right, guys. So this is my first live ever. So just bear with me while I figure out, while I figure out how to get my comment moderators in here. Oh yeah, the Stromboli video is like my favorite. Oh, there's a lot of people. Oh, there we go. There's Jess. All right. There we go. Hello, hello. Oh, wow. There's a lot more people in here than I thought. Yep. You popped my cherry from my lives. Hello. And actually, it's funny you say that because I just said this to Jess before, but I popped my Twitter cherry today too because that was a whole dumpster fire of a situation, which I will be going over as well. I guess we have a pretty decent amount of people in here. Let me see. All right, if I see my other comment moderator pop up, I will make them a moderator. Okay, anyway, so since we have a decent amount of people in here, and this is my first ever live, and I'm like super nervous about it, so please be nice to me. So if you are in my anti-MLM Facebook group, you saw that I kind of went from 0 to Jersey girl real quick. I have since calmed down, so I'm a little more calm and collected since then. Hello everyone. Oh my gosh, there's so many people. Yeah, Instagram was also insane too. There's so many people. My goodness. Oh, thank you. Thank you everyone for the love. Okay. If you are not on Twitter, not on social media, and have no idea what happened. Oh, Stella. So basically what happened was, I'm going to go over this in a little bit, but there was a lovely little thing on Twitter today, and I went into the Facebook group and I told everyone that the Jersey girl attitude came out and that was the attitude I was going to bring you guys tonight, but I have since calmed down a bit. But anyway, so let's get into what I wanted to talk about. So obviously, if you haven't heard about anything that's going on, there was a whole thing with Anastasia, Beverly Hills, and Rodan and Fields, or as we also like to call them, Rodan and Fields. But anyway, so there was some kind of like brow product that came out, and it was released last night. There was something on Twitter, and of course I got tagged in it. And everything started to happen. And Norvina, if you don't know, she is the daughter of Anastasia, and she went onto Twitter. Savannah Marie did a video this morning. So if you didn't watch that has all of the screenshots of what exactly happened. Norvina said that they're working on it and everything like that. I don't know how I'm going to keep up with this chat, you guys. There's so many of you in here. But anyway, so that's what ended up happening. And since then, apparently Rodan and Fields took it off their site, but then it's still going back and forth. And now everyone is kind of in an uproar about it, both on the anti-MLM and the pro-MLM side, because y'all, it was just a hot mess express. So basically, from what I'm understanding properly, how am I gonna like explain all of this? Because it's just like all over the place. But so they said that they're going to not continue with the collab, but apparently the test portion of it already, those test products of the brow products have already been shipped to Rodan and Fields. And of course, there were also a ton of sales. And if you are a business owner, you know that if you were to stop something like that, that is a ton of money that you're going to just like completely throw in the garbage. So, of course, you know, I can understand from a business owner's perspective. However, the thing that bothers me, and this is what I wanted to talk about. Let me actually stop and take a look at the chat real quick because it looks like you guys have some information. Okay, so it's still under contract. Okay. Okay. The thing that I wanted to talk about is this is what it just goes to show that Norvina and her mother have nothing to do with the real workings of a company and just pick colors. So the thing that kind of irked me a little bit about this situation is this whole entire thing could have been completely avoided if people did their research. And this is why there's so many anti-MLM channels out there. And this is why there's so many people out there in the anti-MLM community trying to spread the word, because as big of a company as Anastasia Beverly Hills is, someone in their marketing department should have done some kind of research. And I don't know how this was missed, especially with how much louder the anti-MLM community is getting. I don't understand how someone just completely looked that over. So that is the one thing that I actually had an issue with. Sorry, I keep getting notifications and there's so many, I can't keep up with this chat. You guys are, Yeah, Steph, you're right. Research definitely should have been done. Sales started. Yeah. So the thing is I know that you said that they weren't canceling it after the sales started, and obviously, there's my other comment moderator. All right, I'm adding you. All right. So from a business standpoint, I can understand the money that they would lose, but I think that even though this is just my opinion, you guys can tell me something else. Oh, my fiance's on here. Hey, babe. But I guess, you know, he just threw me off. Completely threw me off. Hold on. Blissfully ignorant to lower echelons of society. They did. Renouncing also means they're taking a stance against MLM. Yeah, so I actually, Andriana, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But you said doing what they did, though, by renouncing it also means they're taking a stance against MLM. So while it was bad it started at all, at least they were vocal about it, making a mistake. So that's actually where I was going before my fiance completely threw me off. But that's what I was going to say, too, is that even though they didn't fully pull the product, and even though it's still going to be in the hands of people, I do think that it is a small win for the anti-MLM community because it still shows. I mean, and then they even said in the post that they wouldn't be working with MLM companies in the future, which brings a lot of awareness. And I think that, like I said, even though they didn't completely pull the product, I still think like it was a little miniature win for us because someone heard us. Our voice was heard. And even though, you know, we didn't win this battle, we didn't, but it's still a step in the right direction. So, okay, let me catch up with the chat, you guys. Okay, all right, we're still going. But yeah, so that's just basically, you know, I did just want to go over that even though it still is going to be put in the hands of reps and everything like that, with how big of a company and how much of influence this particular company has. Now, I'm not very familiar with the makeup world, the beauty industry, all of that. This is why I wish that Jess was here with me on this live so that she could kind of talk about it from that perspective as well. The only thing I know is that Norvina is Anastasia's daughter. That's really all I know. And the brow products. But, you know, even though they didn't pull the product, I know I've said this multiple times, they still took a stance against the MLM industry. Okay, there's a bunch. Has Rodan and Fields made any public comment on this situation? Taylor, I actually haven't seen them say anything yet, so I'm not 100% sure, but I can definitely look into that after the chat because I have not seen them say anything. Just Anastasia, Beverly Hills, and Norvina have said stuff. I bet RNF offered ABH a ton of money. Oh, this is another thing. I did not know this until, I forget if it was Jess or if it was the MLM police that said this, but both companies are actually owned by the same investment company. So there might be some kind of link in there about that. Charge of checking them out just went to the, so that they seem legit. Yeah, Jess, I'm glad that some consultants are mad too. In a perfect world, it would have been great for them to come forward and say that they didn't realize the actual damage these companies caused. I think that they weren't informed, KW, to be completely honest. Maybe they were, and maybe this is just like a publicity thing, and they're just doing this to kind of keep the anti-MLM community hush hush. And maybe that's what it is. I'm not sure. I'm not there. I'm not at their offices, so I really don't know. The consultants are so mad that people were hating on their $1 million company. Yeah, that's actually another thing I want to talk about on this live was the dumpster fire that happened on Twitter, because that was... But the wording on Instagram was so misleading. It is exactly the same deal that it was to start with. Whoops, that just went up. Even the Huns were saying that the videos they had seen beforehand confirmed it was the exact deal. Yeah, so I was told that there was a live on the Rodan and Fields website or whatever, and someone did send me a link. I forget. I think it was, who was it? One of you guys sent it to me. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you guys did send me a link to the video. While it didn't look like a live, it really looked like a typical promo video. It said live on the bottom portion. So I honestly don't know, to be completely honest with y'all. I don't use ABH, but I'm happy if they decide to not collaborate with that despicable MLM. So apparently, Melissa, apparently the products are still being shipped, but they're not going to continue any sort of collaboration in the future. So... but everything's still unfolding. So I feel like I'm kind of happy that I waited until tonight to really talk about this, because I feel like it's just continuously going. There's still a lot of people who think that MLM mean Avon or Mary Kay, which are strangely kind of legit. Oh, that was another thing. You just reminded me. That's another thing, is that people were saying that Rodan and Fields isn't an MLM. It most definitely is. To anyone watching this who's a rep and thinks they're not MLM, they are MLM. It's the tiny win of getting more people researching MLMs and why people... Yes, that is true. Oh, wow. We have genetically modified skeptic in here. Hi. That's really awesome. I'm a huge fan of your channel. Really, really huge fan. Can you do a reaction to how the Huns reacted to the news? I can actually do a video about that, Melissa, because I feel like I need to kind of let all of this die down and look more into it, because I feel like it's still unfolding. Let's see. The biggest losers at the end of the day will be the consultants who invested into this new collab. Yeah, so they're still going to get their product, but I feel like I'm glad that our voice was heard to the world, because it's like I said in the beginning of this stream, we may not have won this particular battle, but our voice was definitely heard for sure. Popping in late and watching beginning at 2 times speed. Well, HP, I'm gonna post this. If I can figure out how to post this to YouTube after this, I'm definitely gonna do that, like an actual video to it. If not, I'll just make a whole entire video about it. The Huns will be the ones buying it. Yeah. BS, I think. That's your username. I'm pretty sure that they're probably the ones that made it like sell out. Let's be real here, because that happens with the unique Huns all the time. The reason why they don't think it's an MLM is because they are so brainwashed and they don't think the information applies to them. People who are sucked into MLMs typically don't educate themselves. KW, I have something to say to that actually, because being part of 2 MLMs in the past, I've talked about this numerous times on my channel, and that is actually very true, that you believe everything, maybe not necessarily everything, but you believe what your uplines tell you because they're supposed to be your mentor. They're supposed to be the people who train you, who are educating you, all of that kind of stuff. So it is very cult-like. I will say my experiences alone, just going to the conferences and stuff, y'all, it's literally just a bunch of fluff and there's no substance. There's no teaching you about business or anything like that. It's just a ton of fluff all over. Thanks. My wife Taylor Lee watches your videos and just showed me your channel. So actually, I watched your guys's Genetically Modified Skeptic. I watched your guys's Q&A, and I'm really excited for Taylor to actually make her anti-MLM channel. So, because I love finding new anti-MLM channels, and y'all do amazing research. I think I've talked about you guys in like a ton of my videos. So, and I always link your Young Living stuff. So, if anyone's looking for some good Young Living content, that's the channel to go to. I'm not sure if any RNF people know my cousin's wife is a Hun and was just posting an hour ago that she was so excited about this collab. Yeah, well, it's not going to continue in the future. I don't know if they actually know what happened today, because if you don't have Twitter, I feel like if you don't have Twitter, you're just lost about all of this. Look more legit in the makeup world. Maybe that's what they're looking for. Yeah, I think that was one of the things too, is that now they're going to be able to, the Rodan and Fields Huns are going to be able to walk around and say, you know, well, we worked with Anastasia at one point, and if someone doesn't think to actually look into it and research it like you should, then they'll just take their word for it, and they'll just think, oh, well, they align themselves with such a great brand, such a well-known brand in the makeup industry. And that's the problem, is that there's just so much of that. And I will say I was guilty of it when I was into MLMs. I didn't do any research. I just took people's words for it. And that's the problem, is that that's why I make these videos, because I want someone to learn from my mistakes. And if I have to tell my story over and over and over again, then I will. I know that you guys are going to get sick of it, but sorry. The product is actually good. Won't be too sad for the Hun, although they might use that appearance of mainstream rep. Yeah, I'm so excited. Channel is still not. Yeah, Taylor, I'm really excited for your channel. Really, really excited for it. I can't wait to see what you come up with on that, because, like I said, y'all do really great research. This collab will just be another tidbit to sucker people. Yes, it will. KW, it definitely will. They were once sold with Estee Lauder and couldn't cut it. We need to remind them of this. Wait, what do you mean about Estee Lauder? I haven't looked into Rodan or Rodan and Fields, however you say it. I haven't looked into them, so I don't really know too much about them. I just know that they're skincare, and after talking to Jess, she's actually an esthetician. So after talking to her, now I know why they're not that great. But so yeah, I guess what I can do is I'll go over. I feel like the damage has been done. Everything Norvina said yesterday about shutting it down hasn't happened. Yeah, Amanda, it hasn't happened because I think that it was already too late at that point. But like I said before, even though we didn't win this battle, our voice was definitely heard. And today I'm going to tell you guys a story. Jess and the MLM police know about what happened in Twitter today. It was literally a dumpster fire. First Nikki Tutorials, Young Living, then yeah, I was really sad when I saw the Young Living thing with Nikki Tutorials because I really, really, really like her. And when I saw that, I got so sad. But I am happy with the way that some people educated her. My whole thing is I don't like it when people attack the Huns, like to the point where it's just you're attacking them as a person and not the structure anymore. And I talk about that a lot here on this channel. So that's why when everyone went after Nikki Tutorials, I kind of felt bad for her, to be completely honest. They sold this brand to Estee Lauder in stores at one point before buying it back and selling through MLM. It did not sell at all. It only took off through MLM. Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I guess I have to do a deep dive on this freaking company now because this is just one big freaking mess. I think this will definitely make some companies do more research into who they work with. That's the thing is I feel like because when this happened with Nikki Tutorials, she had no idea about MLM or anything like that. And I know that she's from the Netherlands, so I know that it's not as dominant over there as it is over here. Because if you don't know, my whole family's from Poland. So the only family I have here are my parents and my brother. And over in Poland, it's not even nowhere near as dominant as it is here. But my entire family over there hates MLM. So my family's in the clear over there. Thank God. I felt sorry for Nikki. She was genuinely unaware. I mean, unless if she's just really good at covering it up, I don't know. But she really, I do think, Amanda, that she was genuinely just unaware of what was happening. Someone told me that her mom was a rep or something like that. I don't know if that's true. Oh, sorry if there's any extra noises. It's raining, so the highway noises are really like way more dominant than they usually are. Whenever confronting a Hun bot, ask specific questions that a business owner should know. What is the profit margin, manufacturing costs, etc. Yeah, I cannot stand it when they call themselves small business owners because obviously, if you've been watching my channel, you know that we own not just one but two businesses. So that drives me insane. I feel MLMs will keep trying to leech onto legit brands to try to fool everyone into thinking they aren't shady. Yeah, I agree. Hey, Heather. Yeah, I really agree with that too. It's just it's so sad that these brands don't do some kind of research. I feel like if you're going to partner with a brand, like for example, obviously I'm at our store, but when we partner with brands, we really truly research and we just I don't understand how this got missed. I mean, maybe they don't know that the anti-MLM community is as big as it is. I don't know. Maybe that's what the case is, but all right, I'm going to, because I can ramble on, and I don't want to be like wasting anybody's time because it's already kind of late for some of you because of like time differences and stuff. But the one thing I did want to mention is education when it comes to the anti-MLM community is key. And I feel like we did a pretty decent job with this one. I didn't really see too many people attacking the Huns or doing Hun shaming, at least from what I've seen. I don't know what went on other social media. I mostly followed the activity on Twitter, which I hate Twitter, but I got sucked in today. But yeah, I feel as though when it comes to being anti-MLM, we can't just attack people. We have to educate them. And I think that was done today because a lot of people started showing sources and facts and everything of that nature. So that's something I want to go over. But hold on, I keep getting more things. Even if it's just raising the question of checking how that work is important. I don't even accept friend requests without researching or allowing the person first. If I had a business, there's no way I'd align my livelihood and business with a company I didn't look into deeply. I agree with that. I'm just going to call you Ron Swanson from now on because of your profile picture. So if you hear me say Ron Swanson, I'm talking to you. I can't wait for the day when MLMs can't come up in conversation without an acknowledgement of the anti-MLM community. It's actually funny, since you're in here, I had Young Living Huns come into our store and we sell CBD, and they tried to tell me that their CBD oil is FDA approved. I just about laughed in their face. I tried really hard to keep my cool, and I think I did a good job, but I can't believe that they're walking around saying that kind of stuff. It's ridiculous. Spill the tea about the Twitter. Okay, let me get to the Twitter incident. Hold on. The same thing happened with Cody, partnered with Unique. They pulled out within a year. Okay. So what happened on Twitter? Jess and the MLM police were the ones that I think tagged me in it originally, but Rodan and Fields came out with their video of, everyone's probably seen it by now, but, oh, it's Galentine's Day, and, you know, we have this Anastasia Beverly Hills nonsense. And so a few of us were going back and forth, and a Hunbot decided to start talking to us, and she started with calling us mean girls, all because the only thing I said was I'm shooketh. Like, how is that being a mean girl? Number one. Number two, when she was talking to Jess and the MLM police, I didn't see anything wrong with what they said. I mean, they were just educating. So I don't see how that was, I don't see how it was being mean girls. We were just expressing our opinion, and obviously we're anti-MLM and we're very loud about it. So this woman kept going back and forth with everyone, and I eventually ignored it because I was supposed to edit a YouTube video today, and that did not happen. But so this woman was just going back and forth, and then finally I saw she started making not necessarily personal attacks, but she started saying like, oh, this is someone that has like only a couple of followers or whatever, which is so dumb. Like, come on. She started doing this as soon as there were facts being thrown at her, and as soon as there were sources and stuff like that being given to her for her to look up. That's when she started going off on the whole immature, like childish, you know, bullshit, basically. I'm going to get demonetized for saying that, but I don't even care. So then I finally responded after, I don't even know how many, but I finally responded, and I said how, you know, I didn't even bother with this whole thing because obviously they're not going to listen. They're not going to listen. And I typed something wrong, and I was responding back to Jess, and I said something along the lines of like, oh, freaking autocorrect. I meant this, not that. And this woman decided to, I guess she went to my Twitter profile, and my Twitter profile doesn't have my YouTube. It has my blog because I haven't figured out if I want to have my blog or my YouTube on there. And so she said something about me being a blogger. So I responded to her, and I was like, okay, listen here. That's when the Jersey girl attitude was like, all right, bitch, you did not just say that. So I just told her, you know, you're calling us mean girls, but you're the one that's saying all of these terrible things to us. You're the one that's no longer having an adult discussion with us, and you're attacking us as people. And I didn't actually say that, but that's where I was going with my tweet or whatever the frick they're called now. But I said how, you know, you're not representing your company properly. And as soon as I said that, I don't know if she kept going on in the comments, but she ended up deleting all of her tweets. And I did look to see if she blocked me. She didn't block me, so she deleted all of her tweets, because the thing is that as soon as you start attacking people personally, and this is what I talk about all the time on my channel, is that I don't attack the MLM Huns as much as I do the company structure, because I do think that some of these people were just brainwashed, and I do think that they're part of a cult. I'm gonna just say it. I think it's very cult-like. But the fact that she had to stoop to that level, and then, you know, you're representing a company, whereas me, I'm just on Twitter. Like I'm not representing anybody. I'm just myself. So for me, I don't care what I say on Twitter. But for her to say that, while she even said at one point that she was a Rodan and Fields consultant or rep, whatever she said, and she deleted everything. So it's one of those things, like, don't dish it if you can't take it. You know what I mean? And that's just, it was, I know that it doesn't sound like a big deal, but you can ask Jess. Me and Jess were talking while also tweeting, and it was annoying. Okay. Oh, but yeah, so because I just saw, Naisa, I just saw your LOL Mean Girls thing. Yeah, so I told her, I was like, you're calling us mean girls, but you're the one that's attacking us. We're not actually attacking you. We're attacking the structure and the company. So, okay, I got to catch up on this chat. Let me see if I can scroll up. Okay, so I've read that one. We'll never know the true story. Yeah, you're right, MLM police. We will never know the true story. Their 90s theme video. We blocked. Oh yeah, we got blocked by a well, I didn't get blocked by a Debbie. Just you got blocked by a Debbie. Debbie Downer. That's what we're calling her. Meanwhile, if you said that at your store, you get penalized, but the MLM structure allows Huns to make illegal claims without any consequences. The business model is designed to break the law, in my opinion. Yeah, so I had a customer come in here once, and they asked me if our products were FDA approved, and I actually said that no CBD products are FDA approved, and they said that they're not going to buy it then if it's not FDA approved. But if Young Living Huns are walking around and saying, yeah, our CBD oil is FDA approved, like, no, you can't say that. You can't. And it was the ones who they followed. Yeah, she was one of those just Jersey girl. Yeah, the Jersey girl was on full. Like, I was sitting here hyping myself up. I've definitely calmed down a lot since. It is a cult, I'm convinced. If you resort to personal attacks, you lose the argument. Yeah, that's why whenever I talk about stuff on my channel or even in my anti-MLM Facebook group, I always tell people I'm not about Hun shaming. And I know that a lot of people will say that, oh, well, maybe if we, shame them enough, then maybe they'll learn their lesson or whatever. And the thing is that if we educate them enough, maybe they'll eventually get it through their head. But I don't believe in, because I've seen it get to a completely different level where people start making fun of them for their looks. And I mean, okay, the makeup, some of them that have the makeup that call themselves makeup artists, and they're definitely not. That is something that I don't really consider Hun shaming, because being a makeup artist, I do think that that is a skill, and I don't have that skill. Jess definitely has that skill, but I think that you can't say that you're a makeup artist when you're really not. I don't know. Okay, hold on. Where is it? I have had to address that to the Huns before. Like, we aren't attacking you. We are attacking the MLM structure. And that's the thing, is that Naisa, they get really defensive about it. And it's because they know it's true. So, if anything, the anti-MLM community are trying to protect the Huns and any future Huns from being created. Yeah, that's actually what I'm trying to do on this channel, is I'm trying to help deter people. Like, I've had people reach out to me just yesterday or this morning, I can't remember, but on my Beachbody video, I had someone say, oh, I was just about to buy Beachbody on demand, and then I came across this video. So it's comments like that that remind me that I am doing something right here on YouTube, I guess. I was just going to mention that as well. Yeah, so Heather, the whole FDA thing, I'm one of those people where I'm not one of those people where everything has to be FDA approved for me to purchase it. However, you cannot say that something is FDA approved when it's not, just to make a sale. That's my take on it, because some people are really particular about it, and some people will only purchase FDA approved products. So you have to respect those people. Even though I don't agree with it, you have to respect them and not just try to make a sale and be dishonest. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. Honestly, to research a personal profile of someone on Twitter to defend your company looks exactly like you are part of a cult. To discredit every opposite opinion against the company is extreme. Yeah, and I was waiting for her to whip out some BS so that I could be like, okay, girl, you obviously know nothing about me. Because there are people out there that have fake Twitter profiles too, and you don't know anything about that person. So whatever's in their profile, like, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't discredit them because they're a blogger. Like, what? What? Okay. Basically, we want the Hun to actually stop losing money and other stuff. Yeah. Have you thought of sharing ways we can help our MLM friends see the light with good intentions to keep them from further damage? Maybe a well-moderated second Facebook group. So, Steph and Ozzy, I actually made a video about that a few months ago. I can remake it though, because I feel like after being on YouTube for a little bit, I can kind of I guess I kind of have a little more of an opinion on it. But if you want, message me on whatever social media platform, and I can send you the link to that video. I forget where it is. It's like somewhere in the beginning of my anti-MLM videos. Just has anyone? Tropic Skincare. I have not heard of that. No, but I'm basically a hermit. Yeah, I'm a hermit too. I'm the biggest introvert, and I literally hate leaving my house. She's such a kind, naive, sweet girl. I worry for her financial future. Their whole fight on Instagram was about how the founders of RNF were the creators of Proactive. Yeah, I didn't look too much into it on Instagram because, like I said, I was like really into Twitter today. But yeah, going back to this other comment, I have a friend who recently bought into it, and she's such a kind, naive, sweet girl. I worry for her financial future. So I will say that I have lost a ton of money to MLMs. So I hope that she sees the light, not to sound like a weirdo, but I really hope that, she learns before she gets in too deep, because there is a lot of money. Like, I have people that come into my anti-MLM Facebook group and they request to come in. And some of the things I've read, some people have said that they've gotten divorces over this. That's insane to me. Like, that is insane. That to me is very cult-like, because you just get engulfed in this company, and it shouldn't ruin lives like that, but unfortunately it does. Cult, yeah. But I feel like I kind of steered away from what was actually happening all day today. I feel like I've kind of gone off on a tangent. I do that a lot. Sorry, guys. I literally go off on tangents all the time. This is why you see giant cuts in my videos, because I just go off on tangents, and they're usually, I like cut them down by at least 10 minutes. Yeah, she's a good friend, but I'm not close enough to tell her what she should and shouldn't do. But I'm avoiding Facebook because she keeps inviting me to her groups and parties. I mean, if you want, you can approach her. But if she's continuously inviting you to groups and stuff, maybe just let her know, like, hey, I'm not interested. I don't support this. And you could just say, like, I don't support the structure. It's not that I don't support you. I don't support the structure. That's what I always tell people. But let me just go over my notes real quick to make sure that I didn't miss anything. No, I think I went over most of the stuff and also went off on a tangent. But I just wanted to say that I'm really proud of the anti-MLM community today, and last night, because I feel as though we did a really good job educating people. And it didn't it turned into a little bit of a dumpster fire because the Huns are just always not informed. But I feel as though the anti-MLM community really, really came together and really tried to educate people, because even if you just went on the Twitter, the Twitter thing that happened that I talked about before, there were sources and stuff that were being left by anti-MLMers. And I really do think that collectively, we made a little, just like Savannah Marie says, we're making waves. So I feel like our voice was heard today, regardless of if, Rodan and Fields and Anastasia Beverly Hills, all of that drama. I know that now people are going to be mad from both sides because you can't make everybody happy. So even though I do think that this was a step in the right direction for the anti-MLM community, I know that some people aren't happy because the products weren't actually pulled. And then there's also consultants that are upset that the anti-MLM community kind of went after that, the company. And I know that not everyone's going to be happy, but I am proud of how we all acted today. And it was really educational and it wasn't bullying. I mean, there were memes and stuff, which memes are always fun. I always welcome memes. Those are fun. But I do feel as though we really did a good job with this one. And that's the thing, is that the anti-MLM community, I think sometimes people forget when they get really wrapped up in, I guess, the whole thing. I feel as though sometimes there's just too much drama involved in the anti-MLM community that sometimes people forget what we're actually doing here. And we're supposed to be educating people. And we shouldn't be bullying people. Because I know that there's people out there. I've seen stuff on Reddit where people are just downright rude. And whereas I don't agree with that approach, I know some people, they just don't give a flying F about it. But I'm a little more, I guess, being an ex-Hun bot. I wasn't really a Hun bot, but I guess we can just call me an ex-Hun bot. Being an ex-Hun bot, I understand the thought process, and I understand that you're sold the dream and you're sold all of this great stuff. So I kind of sympathize a little bit more than the average person who maybe has never been in an MLM, or maybe someone who is they've just researched anti-MLM. But, I'm really, really proud of the anti-MLM community from last night and today. I think we did a really, really good job. And, we may get called mean girls like we did today because we stated our opinion, but I do think that, we did a great job today. So let me just catch up because I just keep seeing people pop up. No. Honestly tried to argue one and just immediately left because she didn't even know what the FTC was. Yeah, I talked about that in my Plexus video. I feel like if you're considering yourself a business owner, you really should know about all this stuff, especially the FTC, because you should be abiding by FTC guidelines if you're in an MLM. But I mean, maybe because, or no, it wasn't my Plexus video. It was my video from Friday that I talked about how there was a Hun that didn't even know what the FTC was. Wasn't the anti-MLM community causing the dumpster fire, though, which made me proud. Any anger or attacks were from the Huns. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. That was something that I was afraid of, that it was going to be like, it just like hitting a brick wall. But the anti-MLM community, we did good today. Only customers are a family. Way to go, anti-MLM community. I honestly have the FTC study on my notes so I can quickly copy and paste on my phone. Just drop it and let anyone click on it. Okay. I think that's all I have for you guys because I'm tired. I'm just going to keep rambling and I have to go home and make dinner. So I guess I'm going to end it here. Thanks for coming to my first live, and maybe I'll get better at these in the future and I won't ramble as much as, I have been. But yeah, I just wanted to thank all of you guys, especially for the love on my last video, because that was a video that I was really upset and pissed off about to make. And I feel like I did get my point across, but I did want to say to everyone who left a lot of love on that and on the community tab about that particular subject, I did want to say thank you. And I did just want to say that I am so proud to be part of this community. You guys are just the best people ever. And I don't say that often because I really don't interact with humans all that much. I like my dogs. So, but yeah, okay. So let me see. Okay. Food's coming, Joe. Yeah, he's probably waiting with the dogs right now. Thank you, Naisa. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, B-Ease. I think that's how, repeat. I don't know how you say that. Thank you, Genetically Modified Skeptic. I feel like we had a celebrity on this live chat today. Thank you, Amanda. All right, so I'm going to try to post this to YouTube now, but I think that is all. This is Monica reporting to you live from the highway.